nice part about the video is we got to see like kind of a fast forward of like going from straight up black and white into the color, which is pretty cool. And pretty much like the artist said, like we are just going to sit there and we're going to color it in. We're going to use our mouse though, because I only have like 2 tablet pads, but it's still actually relatively easy to work with because we could apply a little bit of mask so we don't color the areas we don't want to. But we'll talk about like the physical coloring of it later. What I want you to do today is this. This is all you need to do by the end of the period. On our project outline, we have 2 links on here, or 3 links on here of all black and white photos. So for example, I think I went to the Library of Congress. I usually have pretty good luck there. And I want you to search black and white photos. It should pretty much bring you to photos right off of the bat. I tried to do that in each of the links. And I want you to try and save 2 photos to Google Classroom. So you only have to complete 1 for the project, but I like you to have a backup just in case you start working on one and you're just like, I don't want to do this or it's not working out. And that way you have a backup. I just like to scan through them on Google Classroom, and I'll leave you a comment if like I'm like, oh, don't do that one. It may be, too tricky or too detailed or something like that. Okay. So for example, I just scrolled down and there's like a kajillion pages you can go through here. And I may pick something like, you can pick things with people. You'll notice that there's colors, photos like mixed in with it, and that's okay too. So something like this, furniture. And what I like to do is go to this little drop down here that says download, and I try and get like the bigger one that's a JPEG. We try and stick to the JPEG version and whatever one is the biggest, and I'm going to hit go. So that way it gives me the biggest version. I'm going to right click and save the image. I'm going to save it to my desktop for now. Okay. And then just to be sure that it's not a super tiny file, because you never know. They may be like negatives from a camera, which would be very tiny. Drop it into Photoshop. Let's see how big it is. Okay, this is about 5 by 6 inches. These photos aren't going to be gigantic, so I'd say if you're in that kind of range, in like the 4-ish range on one side, you have a pretty decent sized image to work with. So right now I'm at like 200%, and you can tell there's like a little bit of fuzz, but if you go down to 100% and it's not fuzzy, you're in a pretty good spot. So that's what I would test drive today. And then you're going to take 2 of them and you're going to upload 2 different black and white photos to Classroom. Okay. One quick thing before we do that. Let's think about some things we should avoid as far as like topics for our project. So what do you think would be really difficult to color in? What's up? Trees? Yep, thank you. So trees can be really annoying if you've got the branches and things like that. So anything with a lot of repetitive, fine detail tends to be quite difficult. So if you have like trees without leaves, you probably want to avoid something like that, okay? Anything that has a lot of tiny detail probably isn't going to work out so hot. On the other end, if you pick something out that you don't have very much to color in and it's perhaps a lot of the same colors, that's probably not going to work out so great either. Okay. So we have to kind of find the middle ground. And if you find more than 2 photos, feel free, upload them. Totally fine. I'm asking that you please use the websites I gave you. And although, it needs to be a historical photo. It just can't be like a black and white photo you found of someone's like guitar on Google image search. It does need to be something historical for this one. Okay. Any questions so far? All right, cool. Let's start looking for the photos, and you got the whole rest of the period to do it.